Hi Sagittarius, this is Heather, the medium on a mission, and I'm bringing you your 2020 forecast. So I'll kind of give you the energies, the channeled energies that I'm getting for you, and then we'll go into one card for each month. Now, it's not necessarily going to resonate within that month, but it's the flow of the energies that I'm getting for you. So Sagittarius, when I kicked into your energy and just tried to kind of lean in to see specifically what are some of the themes and stuff that's going to be occurring for you, I've got, and I wanted to say themes and just judgments, because I feel like there's going to be some things where you're going to be, I literally heard blowing the roof off this year. And so I feel like there's a lot of outdated belief systems, there's outdated, it's almost like the feeling of the tower and things crashing away that are no longer serving for you, but it's for your highest and greatest good. I feel like there's a lot of new energies coming in, but you have to, it's almost like I see that you have to remove yourself from those energies going forward. And it's almost like I feel a little bit of it's almost like an energy of someone who, it's almost like they feel like they're in prison, but they don't realize that the door is open and they can go through at any time. And so I feel like this is a year about you releasing yourself from the space that you're in and creating your best life going forward. And so it just feels like that's, if I kind of tune into the energies of the first half or second half, I feel like the first half is where you really start to release yourself of these heavy thoughts, feelings, emotions, dynamics, relationships, anything like that that's been occurring for you that's never, like, it's not serving your purpose, and therefore you need to let it go. And so I hear blowing the roof off this place. Like, it's like this is happening. So that's what I get for you. And I feel like in July there's going to be a breakthrough of your energy, like in a big way. And so I know that that's a bit further off, but it just feels like July is going to be a pivotal moment for you in terms of coming into this new energy and kind of living your life in a very different way. And it's interesting. So I believe so I know June is when there's the full moon in Sagittarius. And so that might be kicking things off for you. And so I feel like that's kind of what, it's just something that's going to kick things off for you. So, all right. And for any of those listening around your birthday right now, I know, well, it's just past, so happy belated. I hope you had an amazing one. But you're entering, this is, oh, that makes perfect sense now. With your solar return, you know, you're into this space where you're pushing away these things, moving away from things that no longer serve you, and going in a much more positive direction going forward. And as I say that, I do, it's like there's a strong male energy that's on the other side that's helping you do this. I feel like this feeling of power that's stepping into this space for you, that's like, it's like sometimes when we feel weak and we don't feel like we can push forward on some of these energies, it just gets hard, because I feel like some of you, in some ways, there's a softer energy to where it's like you don't want to have to fight sometimes. And I feel like this individual is coming in to help you with this. And it's not a fighting energy, but anytime there's breakthroughs that occur or anything like that, it's always about having to push past things and sort of like stand up in a way that you haven't done before. So it's really about being present and on a different level in your life. And that's what I feel like. And it just feels really positive. It's like, yeah, you know, it turns out I'm going to take this back. And so that's what you're doing. That's the energy of what I'm getting for you, Sagittarius. So we'll pull one card for each month. I'll do the first 6 months of the year, go into the energies, and do the next 6 months. So we'll go January to June. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Sagittarius for January to June at this time? Yep, the sun. Beautiful. All right, perfect. I love that. I love it. I love it. This renewed sense of energy and optimism. Things are coming in your direction for you. Things are turning about for you. There may also be something to do with an Aquarius energy. But this feels like this kind of this renewed energy of, you know, I'm blowing the roof off. That's what I'm getting here. So, all right. Just going to put in 9 cards. So that's March. We've got May. And June. Perfect. All right, so we kick off the year with the Sun card, and this is all about kind of the renewal of energies and things that are coming in. Some of you may have already been going through this where you feel like you've, you know, with your solar return, you're at this space where now you're like, that's it, I'm starting this new beginning. There's a renewal of hope. There's some of the things that have no longer served me in the past. I'm letting go of those. But I feel like this is really the year of breaking, you know, it's you know, throwing the roof off. And so that's what I'm getting. Let me just adjust that, make sure you guys can see that. Perfect. Okay. And so the next card, so for February, we've got the Page of Pentacles. And so with the Page of Pentacles, this is all about beginning new things, starting new. And it's looking at it, the other thing I want to say here too, it's looking toward the sun with optimism. So I feel like some of you might be starting something new. There might be a new business adventure. There might be a new partnership that's coming. But the partnership would be coming around the time of January, where you really start to, if you can see kind of the looking into each other's eyes. It doesn't have to be romantic in nature, but it feels like whatever this thing that you're kicking off in January is a very blessed energy. And you're, again, there's something I feel like you're bringing out to the world that is helping in another level. So it doesn't have to be like on a large scale. It doesn't have to be out in social. It's just something where it's like the way that you're showing up in this world is going to be very different than you've done in the past. It's going to be a new, improved version of yourself. And so next we go into the Knight of Pentacles. And so you've got, you know, you've already got a lot of abundance, material abundance that's coming into your energy at this time with the Pentacle cards. But with this, it's all about, you know, whatever this is, you're being more, there's something about being pragmatic and regimented about the process of what you're executing here. So I feel like this feeling of we're doing this, we're making this happen, but I don't want to go too soon with it and move forward without making sure this is ready for the next layer. Now, this is quite interesting because I saw this in another reading, and I can't remember exactly which one it is, but this is a typical energy vibration of the flow of the way things occur. When we sort of have this energy where we're ready to go, we've got, you know, we're moving forward, we've got this energy, we're pushing past this, our emotions kick in. I find it fascinating, and this is kind of the flow and the ebb and the flow of the human experience and the dynamics we go through, where, you know, we're ready to go, and then something kind of emotionally based, so you've got the material and then you jump into the emotions of things, something pulls you back from that energy, and you're like, should I be doing this? And you're kind of focusing on maybe what's wrong with the situation, maybe it's not 100% perfect about what you should be having or should be putting out, but it's the two cups are still here. So it's this feeling of, again, going back to whatever this partnership, whatever this thing, whatever this kind of new beginning. This could even be with oneself, this new life. It's the feeling of looking back a little bit with loss and regret, but it feels very temporary for you. It doesn't feel like it's something, it just feels like a momentary pause of like, do I really want to take this on? But it's emotional based. And it's interesting because you've got the Five of Cups here, and then you go into the Five of Pentacles here. And really with the Five of Pentacles, this is all about this feeling of, again, there's something about this breakthrough that's going to occur for you. And oh my gosh, this is quite amazing because this is all about that breaking the roof, right? You're going into this energy and you're like, just when you're about to have the breakthrough, you have these emotional kind of energies that come in, and then the feeling of like loss and poverty. But this is all mental, and this is why, I mean, this is quite amazing here to now from the June energy to pop in is the Devil. And this is all about like it's the feeling of, you're breaking past. There's something in June where this is where the roof really comes off, and you're saying, you know what, this has got to change. This is not happening anymore. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm moving forward. And it's interesting because I'm really being drawn to the fact it's almost like you've got the Pentacle energy here, and I know that this isn't a Pentacle card, but if you look, it's essentially the same thing, and this is all about breaking through on another level that you haven't done previously. And it's interesting. The other thing I'm going to tell you, like, I didn't bring it in here, but I sat it right next to this for you guys, and I wanted to put it in the reading, but I was like, well, it's not going to really fit. But I'm really being drawn to this right now, and it's the star, you know, you can call it Star of David, whatever you want to call, but there's this here, and I'm being drawn to this so much. And look at this, it's a flame. I'm so being drawn to this, and this to me is not, the cards aren't going to tell you this. This is spirit talking to you directly. And this is all about manifesting and pulling in things. And look at what you have on here. You've got this sort of tower. Oh my gosh, I'm just now seeing that. It's like you're blowing the roof off. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have spirit coming into your reading so hard and fast right now. It's ridiculous. And I mean, it's so crazy because I almost pulled this in here and I'm like, no, I don't, but I knew I had to use it, so I kept it nearby. And so this is all about you lighting this candle and moving forward with this, and it's in a way that you're bringing in this new beginnings, this new hope, and you're blowing the roof off, is all I can say. I'm actually blown away by this. And so what they told me at the beginning, and you can go back and, you know, some of this because it's kind of coming in quickly here, but July, it feels like where the change occurs. So now we're coming into the July space, so I'm quite interested to see what we've got in terms of this energy here. So for July through December, we'll drop the cards and see what Spirit has to say in addition to the messages already coming through here. Spirit, what messages do you have for Sagittarius for July through December? Okay, yep, moving forward, moving away. It's sailing towards better seas. Okay, August, September, October, November, and December. Perfect. Okay. All right. So, and I'm going to, just the way it came out there. Okay. All right. So when we've got, we've got the 6, and it's interesting here because you've got the 5 energies that have been coming forward. That's really, and this is where it shows you're just kind of moving away from that energy, coming into the swords. This is all about the thoughts. You're moving forward with these things that you've got going on. You're moving forward with all that energy, and you're really putting it into action there. And then next you've got your, you've got your energy coming in. You've got the Wands cards, the fire, the energy. And here we've got the 10. And this is really, to me, it's really about kind of, you've got, you're bearing this, you've got all of this energy, and it's, you know, he's got a lot that he's holding on to, but it's almost like this completion card. It's like, you know, the 10 of Pentacles, you've got the abundance of wealth. Here you've got the abundance of energy within yourself, and it's like you're at the space where you're full. You've already started in July to move forward with this new energy, and now you've got this you know, all of these wands that you're carrying with you, the fire, the energy, the moving forward, the sense of kind of responsibility of executing and moving forward in this new direction for yourself. And so then we come to the 4 of Cups here. And so with the 4 of Cups, you've really got this this feeling of it feels like there's a more methodical approach to what you're doing. I feel like in the past sometimes there was a little bit more of a hasty energy and the feeling of not really and I even want to go back last year as well. I feel like that October would have been significant for you last year, but I also feel like there's some August, September, October would have been significant for you. But I feel like there's something about the way that things are being done this time. It's being done in a different way. And so I just feel like there's, you know, it's this feeling of really setting a different foundation for the future going forward. So, so that's, excuse me, my stomach. I tried not, when I do these readings, I try to not really have any food. So I'm sorry if you caught that, just because I want to keep my energy really light. So, so the next card we've got here is the Ace of Rods. And so with this card here, we've got, or the Ace of Wands, basically. So this is all about this inspiration, creativity, this stepping into this new beginning. This is all about you taking action. Again, this is you. This is your fire. It's you moving forward. You're going in a different direction. And this is significant to me because I don't usually look at the cards reversed, but immediately when I came out, I heard, you know, keep it that way, because you've reversed the energy and this feeling of being a little bit more steady stagnant in this space, and here you have a much different perspective come November. You're in a much different path. You're moving forward. Things are very different for you. And so I just feel like that's part of what your energy is showing here. And then when we come into the Nine of Swords, and so with the Nine of Swords, I just feel like I'm going to pull a clarifier on this, because I feel like this is not, I actually feel like this is a little bit more emotional based. I don't feel like this is something where it's specific to what you're going through. I feel like there's kind of, it's just it's like an up level, next level thing for you. And I just feel like it's like, I mean, it's kind of around your, again, your solar return that's coming into your space. And it's this feeling of, oh, I have to go up another level. And it's like climbing these stairs, but it's this feeling of a lot of achievement surrounding you. So, let me see here. Spirit can clarify the Nine of Swords. Okay, yeah. It just feels like a lot of sense of responsibility for you, and it can get overwhelming at times, but I don't feel like it's anything where it's like not doable for you. And so I just feel like for you guys, when you come to December, around your birth, your solar return, your birthday, it's just this feeling of coming back into question with some of these things. Where do I go now from here? Because I feel like you've achieved a lot within this space of time. Like I said, July, moving forward, it's going to be very different for you. You're processing a lot of things from the past here. You're moving forward. You're getting all these residual kind of energetic vibrations that no longer serve, and you're moving forward, and you're no longer in a suspended state. You're sitting upright, and you're very aware of your surroundings. But sometimes with that, you kind of see the things from the past that you have to work through that maybe you've left behind. And so that's the biggest thing I want to bring through here. It feels like this might be connecting back to some of this energy as well. And so with that, I just feel like it's really important that you seek spirit. You really keep going towards that light and that energy of spirit, and bringing in that positive energy, because it feels like it's really good for you, but it feels like it's one of those teeter-totter things where it could go either way. So again, sometimes when you blow the roof off something, it could be either to start a new beginning or to be destructive. So you really have to decide with that energy, how do you want to proceed with that? But I feel like there's people around you too, where it's this feeling of outside influence. I don't feel like this as much as an internal struggle. I feel like there's an external forces at play that's coming in to sort of make you stronger and show you a part of your light that you hadn't seen for yourself. So I'm just going to pull a general energy message for the year and see what we've got in terms of Sagittarius for the entirety of 2020. What general messages do you have, Spirit, for Sagittarius? Okay, blessings, beautiful. All right, and immediately I'm being drawn with the yellow bird, and that's the sacral chakra, or I'm sorry, not the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, and that's about the drive, the willpower. So again, this year is all about you taking that taking that energy and driving it in the direction you want to go. This is your will, your drive, your energy. I'm being drawn to the water and the emotions, because I feel like there's a lot of things that you're going to have to sort of rise above in terms of the emotional space that you're working through. But this is all very doable. It feels like there's a lot of blessings that's going to come as a result of the surroundings. And I'm being drawn to all the elements that are coming in here. You've got all of the elements within this. You've got the water element, you've got the earth element, you've got the wands element. I mean, you've got everything that's in here. And you being essentially, this bird right here, you are that energy of that bird, and you're kind of coming through, and it feels like you're just seeing things from a different perspective. So as well, the other thing I would encourage you to do, I'm really being drawn to these, like, it looks like cherry blossoms. I would just go look at cherry blossoms online and see the symbolism behind that, because that feels very important. It's a good accompaniment to the message that's been delivered here. But you can do some research on that. I think there's an interesting thing about cherry blossoms and the story behind them and the significance of them. So I just want you to look at that as well. Wow. Okay. And the message here. So I'm reading the card that we've got here. the book, from the book, it says, in many ancient culture, it's called the Holy Spring. In many ancient cultures, it was believed that there were some springs that were holy. Gods and goddesses were thought to reside near these special places, and they were revered. Greek mythology is replete with stories of these special places. Many of the Christians hallowed water sources, such as the Chalice well, were used for sacred purposes long before Christianity rose to prominence. These kinds of springs were thought to be healing waters and blessings bestowed by mystical beings. And so with that, I just feel like this feeling of there's just, again, this is kind of a softer way of saying blowing the roof off. This is healing. You're shifting things. Things are moving for you. You're not walking away out of this year the same person that you were when you started. And so I think it's beautiful, but it's an evolution of one's soul and one's space. And I actually, as I say that, I do feel like there is some that are going to there's going to be a physical move as a result of this as well. I feel like there's going to be, you guys are physically moving your home, your space, your business. I feel like some of you might be in a situation where you're moving towards things that are better serving of you, but I feel like this move is going to be really good for you. So Sagittarius, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have an amazing 2020, and namaste.